Verse of the day for Friday the 13th, 2026. No, don't be afraid. Don't be superstitious. If you believe in God, God is with you all the time. He promised He'll never leave you nor forsake you. But anyway, the verse of the day is 1 Peter 4:16, and it says, if any person suffers for doing good, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify God when this happens to him. What does that mean? That means that if a thief gets caught and he's put in jail, well, he deserved it. So you expect that. But when somebody is mistreated, laughed at, mocked, bullied, called all kinds of different names, people lying on him and just mistreating Christian people, believers, followers of Christ, when you hold back and don't act the way you did when you did not know God, when you were not in Christ, like me, then God will be glorified. I was in crime and violence for 30 years. And guess what? When I got saved, it's been 30 years that I've not been a violent person. I haven't had drugs and alcohol since probably going on 23 years. But one day I did go to Mexico to go get my teeth cleaned. Just crossed the border there in Progreso. And when I came back, they ran my license. Well, I have a terrible criminal background. So they put me aside to run to see if I had any warrants or whatever. And hours turned into more hours, and hours turned into days, and days turned into a week. And I was there in jail, in a county jail there on the Texas-Mexican border for 6 days. For nothing. I've been off parole for forever, for 25, 26 years. And while I was there, I just couldn't figure it out. I didn't know why. The only time in my life that I was innocent, that I did not commit a crime, that I went to jail. Well, on the 6th day, there was a bunch of young kids, rascals, and I would just laugh at them because they were giving me orders and telling me about prison life. And there was an older man just laughing, and he told the youngsters, that man probably knows more about prison life than any of you. And they asked me, do you? And I'm like, dude, I was in prison in the 1980s. Most of y'all weren't even born yet. Needless to say, I got saved in prison, and I started doing evangelism in prison. I've been doing evangelism for 30 years. Well, I shared the gospel of Jesus Christ with them, and when I turned to look, the older man was crying. And I went over there to pray with him, and he said, you know what, Marty? Man, I don't know your God. That's the God I want to know, the God that has mercy on those of us that make mistakes and errors. He had just been sentenced to life in prison for murder, and he gave his heart to the Lord in that day. The next day, I was released. Now I think, man, I should have prayed with him the first day. But anyway, God was glorified. So if you go through something that you don't like, and you're not at fault, you're not guilty, use it for a good. Testify and tell people about the goodness of God, about the grace of God, about the mercy of God, and watch the Lord be glorified in any and every circumstance that we face in life. God bless you guys. I hope this helps somebody, and we'll see you tomorrow.